here again. Thank you for watching my channel again. Another video. Oh my god. So here is a very small ladies Waltham watch. This is a size 0, and I absolutely hate working on this, but the lady was so nice. Oh my god. She was a lady that was a little bit elderly, maybe a little bit, but she was just such a sweetheart. So I said, okay, I'll do it. Even though I just can't stand working on these little tiny small ones. This one's not bad. It's got a hinge right there. It's kind of snapping it open a little bit, but it's a little loose, but there's nothing much I can do about that. It's not a high-end watch. Let me get my wonderful thumbnail in here and get it under there twice. See if I can open this up. And there it is there. There's the watch there. So it's an old Waltham. It's I think it said it's like a 7 jewel, or no, it's actually, I think, 9 jewel movement, which is really weird, right? Because these two are jeweled. So the seconds hand is jeweled and the escapement wheel is jeweled. So it's jeweled. I think the balance is good, which is great news. I don't have to work on the balance staff on this one. I may just have to take it apart and clean it and put it back together again. So the tricky part of this one here, let me press the button again here, is I'm lining the hands up to take them off, is trying to find an edge here to open this case. And I'm going to have to look really closely because I think it's right there. But I may have to open it with a screwdriver and not my case opener because it's so darn small. Like putting the screwdriver in right here and then wedging it open like that. And then just take the case right off like this. Look at that. Oh my god. I'm a genius. So take that off like this. And then the rest of it should be a little bit easier, I think. I had Leonard Skinner playing in the background on the radio when I was doing work on the salesman's case. And I'll show that to you in a second. But Leonard Skinner was not the name of the band member. Leonard Skinner was the name of the gym teacher. So the band decided they didn't like him, so they decided to call the band Leonard Skinner because they didn't like the gym teacher, which I think is hilarious. I'm just going to move these parts out of the way here so I can concentrate. So Leonard Skinner is not the name of the guy in the band. Leonard Skinner was the gym teacher. So I need to get down and dirty on this watch. So I'll see. Well, before I see you in a few seconds, I'm just going to show you one thing here. So maybe you guys can give me a hint. So the salesman's case watch Hamilton is running extremely well. No problems here at all. Nice watch, running well. The only problem is I can't get the back on. So, and I'm really afraid of breaking the glass. So I've asked the guy if I could send it to him like this and he can break his own glass. And so just a note from now on, I am not doing any more watches with these snap-on salesman cases. Forget it. Okay? Forget it. It's just too difficult to put these on. So that's one salesman's case watch. And then I did this watch here, and I've just simply wrapped it around in case I get problems with this. I'm running this one right now, and it's also got a viewable salesman case thingamajobby doohickey in the back as well. And this one also was hard to snap on. So, and I don't know whether I should use my case, my press, my crystal press to snap those on or not. I'm really afraid of breaking the glass on this thing. So anyway, that's just a thought, okay? So don't send me any of these watches with salesman cases anymore. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. I can do it, but I don't want to break the case. And so forget it. I know I'm acting up here. Anyway, let's just strip this thing down and get it into the wash machine. Oh, and by the by, turns out these hands are magnetic. I picked one up and then it picks the other one up. So I've got to demagnetize the hands. Again, oh my god, oh me, oh my. I didn't know I'd have to demagnetize the hands on this old watch. So let me see if I can put that here. No, won't fit. Just going to move this over to the side a bit. And then I'm going to put the lid on this thing because I'm just going to be putting all these watch parts in my cleaning machine later. My cleaning machine. Here I've got my Bergeon. Always sounds better in French. My Bergeon protector pad. Little pad. There we go. Little Bergeon pad. Actually, it's not of any use right now. Let me get this Bergeon pad out of the way. I got the long thumbnail there happening on my thumb. That's actually pretty friggin' handy, by the way. The long thumbnail, as they say in French. So I just have to unscrew this movement here. And I do need to make sure it's in time setting mode, right? Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. I'm just going to put these screws out of the way. Let me just pull that out to time setting mode here. And then I think my father used to do that. He doesn't do it anymore, but he used to do it. It's the world's longest screw here. She is turning it until it's probably all the way to China, I think, this screw. Let me just see if I can just do this here nice and easy. What do you think? Can I put this on my pad? Look at that. Got it on the pad. There is the case. And I can clean that case up just a little bit just to make sure it looks good. It's all good. And this is a very small movement. So the question is, can I still use my Myers number 58 movement holder? Let's go get some pieces. But before we do that, let's take the face off. Let's take the face off. This thing has probably never been apart. It's a very old watch. I'm trying to leave enough threads in the screw holes here so that when I remove the face, the screws don't fall out. I'm trying to keep my thumbs away from the bounce. That is the trick when you're taking these watches apart. So there it is there. I've got the screws out. Now the question is, can I work this out somehow? Very easily. I think I'll just get a very, very, very small screwdriver. Oh, I just hit the microphone with my finger. Why I did that, I do not know. One thing I can do, because this is so small, is just turn it upside down and then use Gravity. Gravity is actually a pretty good song by John Mayer, by the way. It's not bad. It's when he started doing the more of the popular songs, and he got away from the blues and stuff. He started doing the stuff that makes him money. So there we go. So there's the movement there. There's the dial feet look good, which is nice. I'm throwing that inside of the little tiny case. I don't have to put that in the wash machine. No siree bub. So it has a dial washer on it, which is nice. Just put that down here. And this is the minute wheel or gear. Sometimes I take those and I actually turn the watch upside down when I'm removing them. Cannon pinion, not sure if that'll go straight up, but have a look at that thing. It already looks like it's kind of up in the air, which is kind of odd. I might get my cannon pin remover out and just, instead of just doing this, or not, it came out no problem. Yeah, there we go. Let me flip this thing around. It's ticking ever so slightly, which is nice. That's a very nice thing, ladies and germs. But I got to get my movement holder. I can't continue without the movement holder. I can't. Alrighty then. I'm really curious whether Myers had a number 57 movement holder. What do you think? Let me just dump these in here. What I did here is I took a business card and put it in the middle as a divider. So I tell you, I'm brilliant. Brilliant. Always trying to figure stuff out. So I want to figure out which one of these things will fit this watch. So Let me do this roundabout here with this one here. That might work actually. This one looks pretty good. I just have to find its partner. It's not that, it's not that. It's probably that, it's not that. So put those ones back and take this one out. And the way this works, let me show you this. You slide those out and there's a spring right there, folks. And that spring is just a wire bent upward, and there's another one on this side. So now when you put these in, you slide them in sideways like that, and then you push it in and it slides in like that. And look at that. Whoever invented this deserves a Nobel Prize. How come people that invent stuff that's so friggin' practical don't get the Nobel Prize? The Nobel laureate are the guys that decide who get the Nobel Prize. And I think they're missing a whole lot of watchmakers. Look at this thing is ticking, man. I love it. It's not ticking strong, but it's ticking. So that's better than not ticking. Now I just press the button on the side to move this closer, this button right there. And then I do this, keep it out of the way of the edge, but I want to be able to wind it. So I gotta go like this. So this is not a lever set watch, so I'm not concerned about the lever. And leave it to beaver, and there we go. Look at that. It's in and it's secure. So I think right now I have to take some power off the movement. So I need to get a bench key. When I wrote up the or when I discussed which tools to get the other day, a bench key, if you're doing pocket watch work, you need to get bench keys. You cannot do the work without bench keys. So forget trying to. See that? Put a little pressure on that. Then I get a shtick. I need to get a shtick that's not going to damage anything here. This is a piece of pegwood. So, and I know the lady peg, the lady whose wood that's for. I gotta watch what I say there. So there we go. Just unwind this thing, let it wind, and I've got this bench key resting against my palm as well. So as I do that, the back end of the bench key is sticking into my palm like that, which slows down, puts a bit of pressure and slows it down, so there's no way this thing is going to go zzz, spin out crazy. So that's that. So I want to take this out here and do work on it, but I'm not going to start doing that until I have a bite to eat. Need to have lunch. So I'll be back. Or I'll be back. It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor. Alrighty, let's strip this puppy dog down. Now that I've had a little food in me, see if I can turn this screw here. And what I did was I took this and I measured the end so it would be relatively close to where I need it to be. So when I take this off, it's not going to be a big problem. Let's see, get my fingers out of there. Just grab this underneath like that, and then usually you can just tip it. And it comes out. Sometimes I end up having to get another set of tweezers, but not this time. So let's see how accurate my eyeballing was. Is that even going in here? There we go. Done it. There it is. So it's resting a bit on this, so it gives it just a little less tension on the spring. I just move that out of the way, and keep working on this movement. What do I got to do next? Trying to pick the right screwdrivers here. Well, these are going in the wash, so I'm not too concerned here, but this, I wonder which direction this is going to go in. What do you think? Left, right, or other? Left, right, or other? Oh, look at that. It's normal. I like when they're normal. Just put everything aside Sometimes I can just lift this up like that. Oh, come on. Don't give me, funny business. There we go. And then this guy here can be removed. Holy jeez, this is tight. See, red, I may need to go up a screwdriver here to fit the slot. That's probably a bit better. There we go. I find these old watches, if they haven't been cleaned in 100 years, they get a bit stiff. I really concern myself with respect to stripping the screw or taking the screw head off, so it doesn't. So I don't want to do that. So let's see how these go here. Firm, yet you don't want it to slip, so you have to grab it and then do it really firm. I almost burped there. That's not good. It's I hear Mr. Trump is passing gas lately in court. That can't be good. It's got to hurt your. It's got to hurt the trial. People say it was a stinky trial. Up here in Canada, we watch all that stuff because we just find it fascinating. Fascinating, I'm telling you. I don't need to know if I don't think I need to take a picture of this. This looks pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. So let me just get rid of these screws here. Having the right screwdriver properly dressed is a must. So I use the right screwdriver, and this is the gray one for the job, and that helps me make sure that screwdriver is in there nice and tight. This one is fitting in those slots perfectly. I may have to take off my Apple titanium watch though, because it kind of feels like it's getting in the way. I know it's there, which is a distraction. So you may not want to wear your Apple titanium watch if you're trying to remove stuff. Stuff, I tell you. I'm just seeing if the plate will lift here. Yeah, it's lifting, and I can grab it from the side here. Go straight up and out. There we go. Put that plate aside. And now I can just remove the gears. First, before I do that, I'm going to take a picture. Always take a picture. Just so you don't have to worry about, oh my God, how did this thing come back together again? So taking a picture is recommended. And now I can just very carefully remove all of the components. I put the wheels in, usually I'll lean them like that, so that the more dental the more whatever that word is, part of the wheel, there's the barrel. I'll take that barrel and see if the cap fits on that baby. Oh, it's a different type of cap. See how this one goes. And I might do what I did last time, which is just wash this thing with everything in there. I let it dry on its own, but I got another watchmaker that does this as well, and says I don't bother taking those mechanisms out when I'm cleaning a watch, because if I let it dry for a long period of time, and I usually let this thing dry for almost a week, because I'll do this on a Sunday, and then I will deal with the watch in the following week. Come on. Snap, 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 snap to it. The whole pallet fork lifted up. The palette fork. Oh, stop it. See, it was out, and now it wants to go back in again. There we go. Don't bend anything. So you got to make sure you don't bend anything. So grab that pallet fork, and I'm putting it in the middle of my tray where it belongs. There. And then loosen this. I don't need to just take all the rest of this stuff out if I let it dry properly and then oil it later. So that way I'm not in danger of breaking it. And I'll remove that jewel later on, because that's going to be, I need to basically remove that jewel later on. And I have to take this apart too, which is the mainspring. These mainsprings can be a bit of a pain, by the way. A pain to take apart and a pain to put back together again. I always take a picture of the mainspring as well. And I save that file that should just come right out like that, and then there's the mainspring. Look at that, came right out. So mainspring, pull that out, see how hard that's going to be. And I want to see how set the mainspring is. I've got really nice long fingernails which help me grab things, and I just have to make sure the mainspring doesn't go fling, because these ones will fling. And I just walk it out like that, and I'm using my thumbnails here. If I cut my thumbnail down, it looks nicer, but it's a bit of a pain for doing watch work, because I use that thumbnail to get into things. So it's pretty handy to have that. I'll just kind of see what kind of a joint this thing is. So that's a good size mainspring. If I throw it on top and you use the old, if it's bigger than the movement trick, then you're good. And this has got a little hook on the inside here. Let me just see if I can show you that up close. See that hook there? That is a nice barrel hook. I like that barrel hook. That's going to be pretty easy to deal with. So I'm not too worried about that barrel hook. Let me clean up a bit. So I'm going to stack this to put it in the cleaning machine. So bear with me as I show you how I stack this. 1, 2, 3. I've got extra baskets too if I need them, but I put the plates on the bottom first, right? This is a size 0 pocket watch, so it's not going to take much to stack this properly, right? So let me just put this one in first, and then put this one in second, and then I can put the barrel with the arbor here and this in like this, and then this plate. I think all the screws are pretty much the same size, so I can put the plate in with it like that, and that's probably all I want to put in there, right? That's one. And then the containers. Oh, I forgot. I throw the mainspring in here on the top and throw the arbor in here as well. So I keep it all together. So there you go. And now these little tiny containers. So these can fit the little tiny parts. So let me just open this up. Just put this in and twist it. And that opens it up, and I'll put the center wheel in this one, and maybe I think that's it. I'll just put the center wheel in there for now. Clean it all on its own. I want the other wheels. Let me just, before I put this back together again, make a different decision. I'm going to, I've seen this thing filled right to the top, but I don't think it'll happen today because I don't think I have enough parts to do that. This wheel and the escapement can probably go in here as well. I'll put those two in here. And just keep an eye out for the pivots. I'm actually closing it like this because I know the pivots will come through there, the mesh, and then I could have problems if I push down while I'm closing it. So it's all about technique, watchmaking technique. This isn't watchmaking right now, this is watch cleaning. So this is an important gear here. I'm just going to leave this guy on his own as well. And then I'm going to put the top on. I work with a guy who describes what he's going to do all the time, which is interesting. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to, you know, inside here, I think I'll throw in the, yeah, this here, the cannon pinion. Because the center wheel is pretty tough, eh? And then the seconds wheel, throw that in there. And I'll do the case screws after. They don't need to go in there. Again, lift this up and then close it, lock it down. That's two. And then the third one I can put in, the heavier parts can go in the center like this. And I think I can put that screw in there. Can I put that screw in there without it getting lost? I don't want it going between the things and me losing it. Yeah, that's not going to go anywhere. And this screw can go in there as well. So I just bunch it up with the other stuff. And then I can put this in the side here, and these two screws, I'm not sure how big these screws are. Again, I don't want to lose a screw. So if these screws will end up going through something, then I'm better off putting them in one of these little containers here. I can't remember which was in this one, but or I'll just leave them out, and I think I'll just leave it like that, and I think I'll just leave these screws out, and I'll know what they're for after, because I've got the pallet fork in there. I don't need to clean those screws, but I will throw the rest of these screws in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is so light it's not going to make a difference. And I'll throw the case screws on the other side. Maybe I'll probably think there's the screws for the pallet fork or the pallet bridge. So that's that, like this, and I restack it inside the cage, and then I got to go into my evil basement and clean. Let me see if I put it like this and then lower it. Is that going to help me at all? Perhaps not, or perhaps so. Like that, and then I'm going to put this in here like this. Grab it from the top to lower it. It's good there. And then this lid here I put so the smooth side goes down. That way if there's any gaps, they get caught. So now there's nothing can get out of that, and I just turn around and look at it, and it's good. Then I put it in this box because I got to go downstairs in my basement to do the cleaning, and so there we go. Good to go. That's it for this video.